past instances, former President Pranab Mukherjee's daughter Sharmishta Mukherjee has spoken out on the controversy surrounding Manmohan Singh's memorial, namely the allegations from the BJP on how past prime ministers and Congress presidents were insulted by the Gandhi family. Here's what she had to say. Listen in.
Okay, joining me now is the late Pranab Mukherjee's daughter, Sharmishta Mukherjee, at one point of time in the Congress party. Thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18, Sharmishta. As always, very candid. There's been a lot of controversy and a lot of words have been saying. I'm going to start from what happened yesterday. Barely had the funeral pyre been lit, you had everyone from the Congress party, including Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, hitting out at the government, talking about the fact that no respect has been given to the former prime minister. The DD cameras were not focused on the Congress people or the family, and of course the protocol was such which was disrespectful. It should have actually been done at the Rajghat. Your first response to that?
Well, I think certain moments in life, especially a situation as death, and irrespective of the fact that Dr. Manmohan Singh was a stellar prime minister, he was an extremely dignified and nice person, but anybody's death should be a dignified occasion. The last rite is happening. That is not the time to politicize. That is not the time to exchange barbs. So somewhere, I think this kind of behavior from anybody is unacceptable, totally unexpected, and it goes to the contrary of the dignity of the person and of the family and also of the solemn situation.
But do you think the Congress party also has much to answer for? I mean, they are accusing the BJP of disrespect. I remember when PV Narasimha Rao died and I was reporting, his mortal remains were not taken inside the AICC headquarters.
Absolutely. And this I have written extensively in my book, referring to my father's diary. And my father also many a times, mentioned this because he also carried this grief very deep in his heart because PV Narasimha Rao was also very close to my father. That it was, and he wrote, it is to eternal shame of Sonia Gandhi and her children that they did not allow the mortal remains of a former prime minister and also a former Congress president. Narasimha Rao ji was a former Congress president. Not to allow his body inside the premises of AICC, I think it was really shameful. And also, they did not allow the family to to have the funeral, the last rites in Delhi. They had to take the body to Andhra Pradesh. So these are, like history haunts. These are certain things, Congress will have to answer for. And these are not very dignified behavior on part of any political party.
I've tried to ask the Congress people for some justification for this. Did your father ever tell you why was that call taken not to take his mortal remains inside? And whose decision was it? Because the Gandhi family never, particularly Sonia Gandhi, never had a good equation with PV Narasimha Rao.
Yes, it was very clear that she had never had a good equation with PV Narasimha Rao for whatever reason. But whatever be the reason, even whatever grievances Sonia Gandhi had against PV Narasimha Rao, whatever, when a person dies, that is a moment to pause everything. That is the moment to, to get over your animosity. And this is also not a relationship between two individuals. This is Narasimha Rao ji was a former prime minister. He was a former Congress president. So whatever your personal grievances against a person may be, it should not have reflected in this action, of not allowing his body to come. It should not have been. Your personal differences, personal grievances, whatever reason, that's a different issue. But to go to that extent, to not to let the body come, not to allow the funeral to happen, I think that was totally unjustified.
But did your father ever tell you why that decision was taken not to let it come inside?
He never told me why. But he told me that, he asked Sonia ji that, he suggested that the gate should be open. So she maintained a silence. She maintained a stoic silence, which
I
was.
was told that the reason they didn't take it inside because they did not have enough space inside. Now, Samishta, that's very hard to believe because we saw the mortal remains of Dr. Manmohan Singh being taken inside. I remember you also tweeted and took to social media to make a larger point and a very valid one that in case of your father.
Priyaranjan Das Munshi. Even Priyaranjan Das Munshi, who was a senior Congress leader and who was in coma for a long time, when he passed away, his body was kept. Sheila Dikshitji's body was kept in EICC. At least in both the occasions, I was there within EICC to pay my tribute to them. So having no space is a bit of a strange justification, because if there was space for Sheila Dikshitji, if there's space for Priyaranjan Das Munshi ji, and EICC, I mean, it's a very 24 Akbar Road is a very old
and a huge property.
And a huge property. And so, the same office was there during Narasimha Raoji's time also. So that is something I think they can come up with something better, I think.
In the case of your father, you have mourned the fact that no condolence meet or a CWC could have been called him, even though he died when he was no longer the president. But you think this is a big miss by the Congress, callous, heartless?
It is, I think, something very untoward. It was not expected, And, my father was president for 5 years, but he was a Congress leader for almost 45 years and very senior, a veteran leader. He was associated with CWC for, I think, around 30 years. So on his passing away, CWC not calling a condolence meeting, not meeting for a condolence meeting, not issuing a condolence message, that was something very strange. And I raised this issue with a couple of, at that time, with a couple of senior leaders. Of course, not Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi. They were much beyond my reach. I was a very junior worker in the party. So one of them, they said that we don't do it for the presidents. So anyway, I didn't push it. I was also that time overwhelmed by my own personal grief. But much later, when I was researching for a book based on my father's diaries, that is the time I found an entry that when K.R. Narayanan passed away, who was former president, so at that time, CWC condolence meeting was called, and the condolence message was drafted by my father only. So saying this, that it's not done for the presidents, is absolutely wrong. So either, I don't know the reason why it happened, whether it was a deliberate omission or whether it was because of sheer negligence and loss of institutional memory of the traditions, of the norms, of basic courtesies of Indian National Congress, and the people who were at the helm of thing, people who are still at the helm of thing, probably they are not even aware of these traditions. So even if that is the situation, even if it was done out of sheer ignorance and negligence, that itself is pathetic.
Do you think the Congress has been disrespectful towards Dr. Manmohan Singh as well?
Well, I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't definitely
think so. The ordinance
so.
being torn up by Rahul Gandhi.
Yes. But that, I would like to put at more as arrogance and immaturity of Rahul Gandhi than of Congress. That was absolutely an arrogant, absolutely an uncalled for behavior, to tear up an ordinance, a government ordinance of your own government, to top of it. And when the Prime Minister was away, he was away on a visit, to, trash an ordinance like that. I think it was extremely, it showed his arrogance. It shows not only his political immaturity, but it showed his arrogance. And also Congress, to some extent, is perhaps as a party to be blamed, because imagine anybody else doing it. Imagine any other senior leader doing it. Obviously that person, there would have been show cause notice against him. There would be, explanation sought from him. Probably he would have been sacked from the party. But just because it's Rahul Gandhi, the government not only took back the ordinance, but there was no action taken him. So that is something, which was a very, very strange and arrogant attitude of Rahul Gandhi.
And did your father, because I remember it's there in the book also, but did your father then tell you also, and did he take it up
He
with the
was
top?
very angry. He was very angry. He was the president then. And I only broke the news to him. So his face became red. And you have faced my father's
Yes.
wrath many a times. His face became absolutely red, and he started shouting at me as if I told the ordinance that, how dare he do it? I mean, this is a government ordinance. Who is he? He's not even part of the cabinet. He was like livid. He was livid. And later at night, he wrote, which I, of course, discovered and read much later when he was no longer there. He wrote in his diary that that this boy has all the arrogance of his Gandhi Nehru lineage without their political acumen. And does he realize the impact of this when the prime minister is away, the impact of his action on the opposition? And many years later, when I joined politics, and I was asking him about this 2014 debacle for Congress. So one of the reasons he said that if your own vice president, that time Rahul Gandhi was vice president, if your own vice president showed such disdain for the party, for his own government, sorry, not the party, his own government, why should people vote for you again?
The Congress is criticizing the BJP and the Prime Minister for disrespecting Dr. Manmohan Singh because the last rites were not conducted at Rajghat, they were conducted near Nigambodh. You agree with that? Do you think the present government is being disrespectful?
I wouldn't like to comment on that because how and where a cremation is held, it's also a lot of family involved, and so I wouldn't like to comment on that. But about this memorial issue, what I read, Congress absolutely, their demand is justified. There has to be a memorial for Dr. Manmohan Singh. There is no doubt about it, and Congress asking for it is absolutely justified. But what I read about it, that immediately, the government agreed to that. That's what I read. So then where is the controversy? What is the issue? Of course, the logistics, a memorial can't be put in, one day. The land can't be granted within half a day. I'm sure there are rules and procedures for this because these are all government land. This is not anybody's personal property. So I'm sure, there are rules and procedures. But the thing is that on principle, the government agreed. So where is the controversy? If the government would have said that, no, sorry, we are not going to give, then there is scope of controversy. If the government immediately agreed, then what is the scope of controversy?
There's also a huge demand now for Dr. Manmohan Singh being given the Bharat Ratna. I'm going to come back to the Bharat Ratna which your father got. I was there inside the Ashoka Hall. I know that there were a couple of Congress leaders, but no one from the Gandhi family came. Is that a hurt you have? That one, why didn't the Congress party think of it? And second, why didn't the Gandhis even bother to turn up?
Yeah, that time on Twitter, I justified the position because I was, I said, so what, Gandhis did not give, Ahmed Patel was there, Ghulam Nabi wasn't there.
Anand Sharma came.
Anand Sharma was there, Bhupinder Hooda was there, I was actively involved in Congress. But yes, one thing, something very strange I find, and that is something I'm finding, a difference between Congress and BJP. Congress pushes away their own. They should have just appropriated that, yes, BJP is honoring and accepting contribution of one of our leaders. So on one hand, BJP says that Congress did nothing. And on the other hand, you are giving Bharat Ratna to a lifelong Congress leader. So this is a pride for Congress. This is something, it is an indirect way of BJP accepting that, Congress did perform quite a bit. So instead of that, they created this whole unnecessary tamasha, which was not required. Whereas BJP, on the other hand, I am seeing that, they are, as far as this is concerned, Bharat Ratna or state awards are concerned, they are far more inclusive. They gave Bharat Ratna to Pranab Mukherjee, who was a lifelong Congress worker. They gave Bharat Ratna to P.V. Narasimha Rao. They gave Padma Vibhushan to Tarun Gogoi. They gave Padma Shri or Padma Bhushan to Ghulam Nabi Azad. These are all Congress leaders. So who is more inclusive? Who is more tolerant of the opposition's ideology? And Tarun Gogoi, Tarun Gogoi, Ghulam Nabi Azad, Tarun Gogoi till the end of his life was an active politician. Ghulam Nabi Azad is an active politician, was a leader of opposition, slamming BJP day in and day out. Despite of that, they were given state awards. So this is, I think, fantastic trait of BJP government under Shri Narendra Modi ji. And Congress should, when they talk about tolerance, they talk about inclusivity, they talk about acceptance of differences of opinion. So these are some things, they have to understand and they have to accept, and perhaps they should appreciate.
But do you think it was a miss that the Congress party didn't think of giving the Bharat Ratna to Pranab Mukherjee? I mean, do you know anything that there was a move to give him and it didn't happen, and the Congress should have
No, I don't think Congress ever thought of giving Bharat Ratna to Pranab Mukherjee. But of course, they gave Padma Vibhushan, which is the second highest award, to my father.
Okay. And but were you ever told by your father that, or did he, last question really to you, when would he ever come and tell you that he's seeing how Dr. Manmohan Singh's image is being tarnished because the perception was being built up because the Congress leaders preferred to negotiate with Sonia Gandhi and approach her more than to approach him being the sitting prime minister?
He never discussed his work or at home. He never discussed politics. And during those days, I was not at all interested in politics. I was a Kathak dancer. So at that time, I never discussed. Of course, when I joined politics, I started discussing with him. But, from his diaries, then I came to know a lot of things, and a lot of it has been written in the book also. So the impression I got that Sonia Gandhi did not interfere in the governance. That is something what I never got the impression. Of course, she kept a track of what is happening, and especially about the promises made in the manifesto. So as a UPA chairperson, that was absolutely her right to do. But what I read that, Sonia Gandhi had the last final say in terms of appointing Congress ministers, governors, in this kind of situation. Now, in a political culture, where getting a powerful position is, end of everything, it's like that. For people, it's the most important thing. So obviously the power tilted towards her. That was very obvious. Secondly, again, there are various instances of differences between Sonia Gandhi and Manmohan Singh, between Manmohan Singh and Pranab Mukherjee, between Pranab Mukherjee and Sonia Gandhi. But what I found, and my father always used to say that, we do not need to, everybody doesn't need to agree on everything at every time. So they had been working together for many years. So there are bound to be differences. But, those differences, they knew how to handle the difference. And there were, and especially between my father and Dr. Manmohan Singh, there was immense, mutual respect and trust. So, they worked as a team. So
do you think Sonia Gandhi actually, and her coterie actually encouraged these differences? Because obviously it would make her or 10 Janpad more powerful.
Yeah, but those differences were primarily administrative in nature or in terms of some policy decisions. So that's what I felt. But again, as I say, and my father used to speak he used to speak his mind. So there were many occasions where sparks flew and, there were heated exchange of words. But things seemed to be back to normal within a couple of days, So that is the impression I got through my diaries. And Pallavi, in a political situation, in a political party, there are bound to be politics. There are bound to be internal politics. There are bound to be people playing up with each other. I think that is the maturity of politicians, of a politician or politicians, that, they also know, they also see through the game. So ultimately, at the end of it, I think they saw through the game and they worked all together as a team.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much for speaking to CNN News 18 always. Thank you very much for speaking to us.